Alright everyone, welcome back. If you watched two other videos before this, we went over the dash cell, we went over the lineup and how that works. Now we're back at story mode. This story mode could get a little confusing because we do have NFT on complex series where it might say the complex series name of the NFT or card, and it'll say story, a complex story. Complex story is totally separate from story mode, but those complex stories will all be added over time in story mode. So how story mode really works is we're rewarding our collectors of collecting certain cards over time. So what happens is we also want to make sure that if you're shopping around for any of these cards that might be ready in story mode, you want to make sure that you check the assets story used attribute on Atomic Hub. And the reason being is, I'll show you an example. If it's already used by another user, it cannot be used ever again in story mode. And this is to prevent people from having multi-accounts and swapping it to one wallet, to another wallet, to another wallet, and just taking advantage of the reward pool that we have and the experience. So I will break this down in a sec here as well, but you'll be able to see the reward pool on Atomic Hub. So if you completed a story, you could win any of these NFTs. We usually have random stuff in here. We just released the pack. We have some extra stuff. We'll throw it in there as well. But you can get pretty much anything. You can get a free energy boost here. And we had a lot of tops stuff on there as well. But you can win that just by saying that you have this card. You can enter the story. So we'll use an example, the Fairy Gilf gold plated. If I had the card, it would appear here and I would click submit. After submitting, I'll get a pop-up and it'll say how much experience I've earned, and I can allocate that experience in any way I want to any NFT that's not in my lineup. And you can put 5 in Assassin or 10 in Combat. You can really basically reconfigure your NFT leveling and skills a certain way you want to go. So back to like shopping here, if we were here and we were searching for this NFT, you want to keep an eye on story used. So it's a mutable trait. If my browser stops crashing. So see this one here, this one is story used. That means if you bought this off the secondary market, you will not be able to use this in story mode. So you want to keep a close eye on that. So that's why we have this red alert up here. If it's 1, it can no longer be used. So when you're shopping around for any of these NFTs, if that's what you're doing, or if you have it, just keep that in your mind. It's going to add a mutable trait in there that's saying it was used before. You have your stories here that you can still play with. You have stories down here that have been completed. And typically speaking, we do add new ones each week. And here's where you can allocate. Right here, you just click right on. So I'll pick the Fairy Gilf Gnome. And this is where there's a bar here. And you can say, hey, I want 18 Assassin. Just click approve. So that added 18 experience to the Fairy Gilf Gnome. Now I have 18 in Assassin, as you can see. I just put that on. I can now add 21 to Combat. So what this is doing is adding experience for those certain areas for Fairy Gilf Gnome. And that's how basic story mode is. Just get rewarded for collecting collections. Yeah, just keep an eye on our Twitter, Telegram, Discord for any news stories that we're adding inside the game. So yeah, again, if you guys have any questions in the community, feel free to ask in our Telegram or Discord. People will answer you. Our community is great. You can also check out more videos I'm making per section of No City, and I really appreciate you guys playing and supporting our project.